You've got to create an environment with every single person you manage because they're not working together. They're working independently. So how do we create that environment?
Chad Peterman here, and you are listening to Can't Stop the Growth, a platform for leaders and teams to grow and thrive. We highlight the importance of personal development, pursuing greatness, and always chasing your potential. Let's get into it.
Today, what I want to talk about, in any goal, in any measure that we set, at the end of the day, it all starts with ownership. And how much ownership are you willing to take for what it is that you are trying to achieve? Taking ownership is one of the hardest things in the world, right? I hear it every day. Where do we see ownership and blame hit a crossroads? Well, we blame when we don't want to take ownership, right? Has anyone ever looked at something that they have absolutely no control over and blamed that as being the reason why you couldn't do something? We all have, right? We all have. It's human nature to do that because then you don't have to take any ownership. And that really works out in our favor, right? Well, I didn't do it. It must have been someone else's fault. When being a true leader, being someone that is going to ultimately inspire others, we have to take ownership. We have to take ownership. And so what I'm going to go through today is 5 things that I think that you can think about. I'm also going to provide you tools, more so to those people that manage field professionals that have goals and, objectives. If you have a goal in your particular department, all of those things, these tools can be very helpful. The great thing is I made these tools in like 10 minutes on Excel. I am no Excel wizard. So they're very elementary and you can use them very easily, which is great. So the first piece of taking ownership is understanding that you set the direction. As a manager, you're the one setting the vision, goals, and strategy. You guide your team toward achieving targets. If the results are positive, it's a reflection of how well you've directed and empowered your people. But if they're not, you have to ask yourself that hard question. What could I have done differently? Has anyone ever not hit a budget in a month and blame the technician? Well, if they would have just sold more work, if they would have just done more, the question we always forget to ask is, when we don't hit a goal, what could we have done differently? What could we have done differently? And oftentimes, where that starts is we forgot to plan for the damn thing in the first place, right? How many of you have looked at a budget number and be like, nope, can't hit that? No flipping way. I don't even have a technician for that. How am I going to hit budget at this branch? Well, I can't do that. What is that? That is blaming others. You have no flipping control over that. The way to gain control is to plan before you start. The wonderful thing about that is there is a new month that starts Friday. So you can use these tools right away. Fancy how that works. So let me show you the first one. If I am a manager, and Dan's not here, I wish he was, because I've done this with Dan before. So if I am managing a department, how do you figure out what you can control? What can you control? If I manage, we'll use Dan as the example. If I manage the plumbing department and I'm the manager, what do you control? Really nothing, right? He ain't running no calls. I don't know that we'd want Dan to run calls. He probably knows that he should run calls. So if he can't run the call, what does he have control over? He has control over the amount of help he offers his team. What could he have done differently? If he didn't hit the budget in October, what could he have done differently? Could he have gotten out with technicians? Could he have had a better one-on-one? Could he have invested in more time in a service meeting that could have been more impactful? What are all these things? Well, the first step, if you're going to be successful, is you've got to plan for the meeting. So let me pull up this tool here that I built. So this is a cool budget breakdown sheet. Dan's budget for November is a touch over $1 million in revenue. Guess what? Dan's never hit $1 million this year in a month. Guess what? November's a short month, 19 days. They don't get much shorter than that. 19 working days. So here's what I did for Dan. I said, well, you're going to need an average sale of $1,700. Good thing is Dan's average sale in October is like $1,567. Doable, right? Conversion of 65%. Right now he's running it like 57-ish for October conversion, okay? Knows he needs to do that. All right, cool. He's got 19 plumbers. I put 17 because of holidays, you got people off and different stuff like that. You might as well just budget like you got less. And if you got more, that's gravy on top, right? He knows he's got 19 working days. He knows he needs about 3 calls per guy a day, convertible calls. So what does that tell me? He's got to cut down on warranties, recalls, return and trip. You got to cut down on all that, right? Because those are slots that could be convertible calls. Total calls, he needs 950. So what can he control on this? And what cells can he control? Well, he can control the number of field professionals he has by making sure he doesn't lose any. He can control, well, can't really control the working days, but that's pretty well set. There are 19 of them, so that's good. Nothing out of control there. Total calls. Now, he can influence that a little bit by making sure that we're not going back on calls and different stuff like that. But honestly, someone else owns that. That's Matt, the marketing, and Callista in the call center. They got to put 950 on the board for him. So that's out of his control. So what should I never hear Dan say? I need more calls. Why? Because he can't control it. So stop focusing on it. Why are you focused on that? Why does that even enter your freaking mind? It shouldn't. Do with what you have. Focus on what you can focus on. What does he have control over? He has control. It can influence average sale, conversion, and the number of people he has. Those are the things he can control. Do not focus on anything else. You don't need more leads. I'm here to tell you, because our conversion rate is not 100%. When you hit 100% in your department, you come talk to me and we'll figure out how to get you more leads. Because if it's not 100%, there are calls that we went to, a customer needed our help, and they chose not to do business with us. Why is that? What percentage of customers are you okay with people in your department going out to, then building all these auctions, doing a 360 evaluation, and then choosing to say, I don't think so? Think about that. If your conversion rate is 50%, that means that half of our customers that we pay for, what's a lead cost right now? A couple $100? A couple $100 paid for a lead, and we go out to a call, and half of these customers say no. So build a plan before the month starts. On a demand service call, our conversion rate should be 80% or above. I'm only saying he needs to do 65, and he can hit goal with the amount of plumbers that he has. And his marketing the call center put the calls on there, and Brittany and sales ops, they make sure that we can run them, and they figure out how to get us around. They own that piece, but he focuses on this. Now, how is he going to influence average sale and conversion? Because we already said he can't run a call. How is he going to do that? Well, I'm going to tell you how he's going to do that. But you set the direction for the department. And guess what? You know how many field professionals care about you hit your bonus? Let's err on the side of not many. And guess what? That's okay. Because they are not paid to care about that. They are not incentivized to care about that. And that's okay. That is the responsibility that we took on when you decided to be a leader. And that's okay. But how do we influence this? We influence it first by creating an environment, right? The one thing that I'm most proud about is that I feel like we have within the departments, within branches, we have got some great culture in each one of those. It's different in each one, which is okay. I've always said it needs to be different because you as the branch manager, you as the manager of that department, you are curating that culture. It's not going to be the same as mine. It may be different, and that's cool. You do what you do. but you've got to create that environment for your partner. Now, the interesting thing about this industry is you can have a service meeting, and we use Eric, for example. HVAC service department, in my mind right now, here in Indy, unbelievable culture, buy-in, everybody's rowing in the same direction. It's fantastic. Yeah, we're going to have our stragglers, but that's fine. We're always going to have that. We've got a great culture there. The problem is Eric and Aaron can have the greatest service meeting that ever lived. Those guys can be hooping and hollering and ready to go and motivated like there is nobody's business. You know what the unfortunate part is? They don't work as a team. They are a team, but when they leave this meeting, they get in their own individual truck and they run their own individual day. They are a team, but they are not working as a team. If you were coaching a football team, yeah, they got to work as a team. They're going to be running the same play and they got to work together. Our guys don't. Not because they don't want to, they physically can't. They're on different sides of town running completely different calls. So when we talk about creating the environment, the trick is, in this industry, is we have to create environment with individual people. You've got to create an environment with every single person you manage because they're not working together. They're working independently. So how do we create that environment? Well, we create that through effective one-on-one meetings, right? Because an effective one-on-one, understanding what a guy's struggling with, how can I help you? What do I need to do from my seat to make sure that you achieve more this month than last? All of those things are not bred in a service meeting. They're bred in an effective one-on-one. And again, one-on-ones aren't easy. I will admit, I probably hold the least effective one-on-one meetings possible because that ain't my jam. I get it. It may not be yours either, but the goal is the more you do, the better you get, right? And the more you do, consistency. I said this not too long ago. Culture is consistency. We can have a great meeting today and you guys can all walk out of here and think, wow, yeah, that's some useful stuff. I really like that. That's awesome. But if we don't have it again next week and the week after that, the week after that, the week after that, the week after that, guess what? We forget about it. Human nature. You work out today and feel really good, but you don't work out tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day, guess what? You get fat. Pretty simple. Consistency. How are you consistently creating that environment? You see, I'm getting like amped up for this because that is the level of intentionality that you need to have in a one-on-one. How can I help you? Where are we at? What are we going to do? What'd you do last week? Here we go. What's going on? How can I help you? Because they have to see that you are inspired. Because ultimately, the next point is you influence their motivation. You influence it. How do I influence their motivation? What are they motivated by? Yeah, I think in a perfect world, we could all think, well, you know, I hope that they think that the company's doing good because then they have a place to work and this, that. They can go get a job anywhere. Anywhere. Yeah, sure, they love working here and everything. What is their scorecard? What is their scoreboard? Paycheck. Do you think that they go home and tell their spouse how great their review conversion rate is or their KPIs and, oh, honey, you ought to see my conversion rate this month? I freaking hope not. What are they going home and doing? Hey, honey, I made more money last month than I've ever made in my entire life. And I'm hoping to make even more next month. So if you all agree that that is their scoreboard, I'm fairly confident. If you want to chat after, more than happy to. I'm fairly certain that that is their scoreboard. So are we showing it to them? Do they know how to keep score? Our KPIs are great because what do we know? We know that that is an indicator of if they are running the process and can be the most successful and ultimately score on their scoreboard, make more money than they've ever made. So here's two tools you could use. Here's a technician who makes $20 an hour. What do our field professionals care about? How much they make on the hour, right? How much they make on the hour? Well, this is for a technician who makes $20 an hour. That means that he's going to bring home, on an annual basis, he's going to bring home $41,600. If he were to turn over 2 TOs per week, pretty reasonable, right? Turn over 3, $54,000 he's going to make on TOs. If he achieves his weekly bonus, there's 50 possible. If he takes 2 weeks of vacation, he can't do those two, but 50 weeks. If he does half of those, he's going to make another $2,500. And if he achieves his weekly and does 25 of them, more than likely he'll hit 8 monthly bonuses. Again, this is all kind of hypothetical, but it gives him an idea, right? $2,800. Weekly memberships, if he sells 3 memberships, he makes $2,700 annually. So that $20 hour tech actually makes $49.81 an hour. He makes over $100,000. Now, here's what you're all thinking, right? Well, the guy making $20 an hour, he's never going to see a TO opportunity, right? Is that what you're thinking? And that's where you're going to make them lose money? If he isn't seeing a TO opportunity, how in the hell can you work with him so that he can go see a TO opportunity? Could I give him the damn truck and say, Brittany, give him a TO. We're going to run one and I'm going to train him. What would that conversation with that technician look like? I will not allow you to not make $100,000 this year. I will not allow it. I'm going to need your buy-in, but by God, I'm going to give you everything that I humanly possibly have within me so that you hit $100,000. What would that mean for you? You have the power to change their lives. That's why we do this. This is the power, but it's on us. The $20 an hour guy, he doesn't believe in himself. We're going to get him to believe. Everyone should seize TO opportunities. If there's a guy we can't hit a weekly bonus, by God, son, you are going to hit a goddamn weekly bonus. I guarantee you, you give me any tech that can make him hit a weekly bonus this week. Because guess what? I won't let him fail. And when you show him that you are as invested, maybe even more invested in his success than he is, he's going to buy in. I guarantee it. And if he doesn't, well, he may be in the right guy. But you're going to find a hell of a lot more of them that are bought in than not. And if you can show them this success, where's your department going to go? We'll have to have financial planning classes because these guys will be making so much damn money. That'll be the new weekly thing. That's what I want to do, actually. By the third quarter of next year, we're going to have financial planning classes because we're going to have technicians that are making so much damn money they don't even know what to do with. Because we have the system for them to do it, but it's our job to take them there. And it's all within your control. You guys know how to do this. It's just a matter of what are we focused on. Are we focused on looking at every tech and showing him his scoreboard? You could do this every week with a tech. How powerful do you think that would be to a field professional? Show it to him. Use these tools. If I was managing field professionals, they would literally know how much more on the hour they made yesterday than they did today. And how can I help you? Because when you show them that you own their hourly wage and you're more passionate about it than they are, I guarantee you they'll run right through that wall for you. You won't have to worry about motivating them. You won't have to worry about having a great service meeting. But it's when you take that accountability. Take the accountability for everyone on your team's paycheck. You know what also will happen? You'll never have a tech come and ask for a raise. And if they do, here's what I challenge you to do. Next tech comes to you for a raise. What I want you to tell them, if they ask for $2, you get a tech comes for $2, here's what I want you to tell them. No, sir, I'm going to give you 10. I'm going to give you 10. And you know how? Because I'm going to be with you every minute of your life. Because we're going to get to 10. Should we may go to 20. Are you ready for that? Do you want to invest in yourself that much? Because by God, and I am. So clear it out. Clear out the trunk. I'm coming with you. Because guess what? You could give them a $10 an hour raise today. You're talking about leadership and changing lives. That's how you do it. And you let them know I'm coming. Because when you attack it, we're so concerned about attacking a budget number. Attack the people that are actually going to do the budget. Sitting behind a computer screen, looking at something, I don't even know what, go find the people. They are going to do it. They are going to take you to where you want to be. And they will take this company to where they're going to be. That's why I'm so passionate about it. Because I forgot about it, right? It's like, well, if we could do another data table, no offense to Mike Z, love the guy, right? Well, data's great, awesome. But guess what? All that data, It's never going to help us hit a goal. It's great that we have it. It's awesome. Looks fantastic. But we got to use it. And the way we use it is we put it in front of them. But guess what? They don't give a shit about the KPIs. They give a shit about their paycheck. So use their scoreboard. We get it. Yeah, we want to hit the KPIs. We can get the burst rate, do all this thing. Guess what? Use their scoreboard. It'll be a hell of a lot more impacting. And we always talk about it. Like if they played football and didn't keep score, no one would watch, right? I wouldn't. Focus on what you can influence. You influence your people. Focus on them. I want someone to try. Will someone please try? Will someone go in with the attitude that I just gave to you with a technician? I just want to know how they respond. I just want to see what they will say when you tell them that I'm more invested in your paycheck than you are. I want you to come along with me, but by God, you're going to make more money than you ever have in your entire life. I'm going to show you how. Because you already know how to do it, right? You don't have to like uncover anything. Like we just got to go show them. Go ride with them, go sit down with them. Just go help them. Like they'll respond. If they don't, they're not human, right? The last piece is you lead by example. Being a manager is more than delegating tasks, telling people what to do, showing them their KPIs. It's about owning the outcome. Own your people's outcome. It's about recognizing that the results your team achieves are a reflection of your leadership. It's a reflection of how intent you are in making them successful. What's the saying? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And then you can make him drink. You can make him drink all day long. And the way you do that is you show up every single day and you are as inspired as you ever have been. You let them feel it and they'll get it. We wonder why sometimes these guys don't pick it up. Man, he just doesn't get it. Can't turn over a system. He can't sell IHU. Yeah, he can. Show him. You know how. And tell him you're not going to stop until he does, until he's freaking good. We've all had those people in our lives that literally like, I do not ever in a million years want to let this person down. I don't. Be that person for your people. The way you do it is you show up. You're inspired. You want that outcome for them so bad. Because I think if you're really, really honest with yourself, if you take this challenge on, the thing that inspires you and why you are a leader is because you want to help them. These are just the means of helping them. Yeah, we all want a paycheck, but being a leader, you've entrusted the people on your team to make your paycheck. I know it sounds weird now to think about it like that, right? It's like, I don't know if I want all those guys being in charge of my paycheck. Yeah, it's kind of freaky, right? That group is in charge of how much I make. They're in charge of their own selves, right? The way that you get to where you want to go, you influence them. It's the only way to do it. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't lose a little bit of that. As we've gotten bigger, it's harder. You know what I forgot? I already know the answer. I've known the answer for a long time. It's showing up with purpose. It's showing up inspired. It's showing up ready to do something that no one's ever done before. We're a company that is going to do something special, and by God, we're going to do it every day because we're going to change lives. We talk about that. How are we going to change lives? You're going to install a water softener, put a new water heater in? No, that's stupid. What we're going to do is we're going to show people how they can change their own lives. Because this is the way to do it. Right here. You show up inspired every single day. That's what we're going to do. Every single day, we're coming at it. All we're going to do is inspire people next year by showing up inspired ourselves. We have all the tools. I'll send you the spreadsheets, put them out in front of people, and just go build these guys like they've never been built before. How cool would it be if you had a story in your department, multiple stories? Hey, meet Johnny. Johnny made $40,000 last year. Johnny made $105,000 this year. Not much change with Johnny. Or did it? Think about that. Changing people's lives is simply a reflection of the effort you're willing to put into it.
Thanks for tuning in. If you'd like to get connected, you can find me at chadmpeterman.com. To see what our team's up to, you can visit petermanbros.com. As always, keep growing out there.